Hello. So I'm going through my Tumblr blogs and I'm about to probably export and delete them, but part of me doesn't even want to export it. I just want to straight up delete it. Because I don't know. I feel like okay, so this is off subject, but I've seen like some critiques of Human Petting Zoo as being like just some sheltered like folk pop music where like a teenager literally just listened to Pat the Bunny and then like tried to write music, which like that's half true because I did listen to Pat the Bunny and AJJ and I was like, whoa, I can be less poetic and more just pissed off with my music. Which, like, now listening to Pat the Bunny, I'm like, holy shit, this music is actually poetic as hell, and I like it in a different way now. But anyway, I guess, like, I just feel weird because in some ways I was pretty sheltered growing up. Like, even my mom admits it now, but, like, sheltered from what? I'm not sure because I did spend a lot of time, like, in my youth in the city, like in Youngstown and in Pittsburgh. Like, it's not like I was sheltered from seeing reality. And, like, obviously, I had to get a job when I was like 16 or 17. I can't remember how old I was. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I guess I just relate to this Human Petting Zoo music in a totally different way at this point. Like, I just want to go back to myself as a teenager and like give myself a hug and be like, look, sweetie, you like it's gonna be okay. You're gonna be all right. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I just listened to that music and I was like so fucking sad, and for what reason? I literally don't know. Like, I just wanted something that I don't even think I could identify what it was. Um, I just feel like my relationship with myself now is very different. And like, I'm also noticing that there's this kind of weird pattern that I follow where at any given moment I am identifying as the last 3 years of my memories. That probably sounds weird to say, but it's like I like look at my life in segments of like 3 years, and that it doesn't even make sense to say it out loud. But like every time a year comes and goes, like for reference for my how I think I should be feeling at any given time is 3 years, and I don't know if it's just some kind of cycle that I'm in emotionally or what, but like I'm 23 now. The last time, or the last Human Petting Zoo album I did was like over 3 years ago at this point, and like my relationship to it is just totally different. Like, I still struggle with some things, like I don't know, like self-worth or like pushing myself too hard to like do things when like really it doesn't matter. Like, the root of all of my insecurities is literally because of capitalism, and like I don't think I understood that when I was a teenager. um I think I did in some ways, but like in a lot of ways I did not understand that. And now I'm starting to understand that like my worth and my productivity like don't go hand in hand. Like, I don't have to be productive to be worthy of loving myself. I know I'm literally just ranting at the moment, but like I don't know, it's just low key cringy going through my Tumblr and just being like, it's like a selfie and it's like, oh, I want attention. And now I'm like, I'm in the process of like deleting all of my social media, and I'm trying to like make a website, but the website I'm trying to make a Squarespace and it's really expensive, so I'm like, I don't really want to do that. So I was considering making a Tumblr instead, but it's like, I'm literally looking at my old Tumblr and just like cringing. So I just don't know. Like, it's really interesting to be an adult right now and being able to look back on my life, like on the internet. Like, that's some shit that I was not expecting. I guess, like, I've had computer access regularly since I was like probably 7 or 8 years old. And I guess I like have been collecting a lot of data on the internet over time. And it's just really weird to see it all laid out in front of me. It's like fucking baffling. And I guess like I just don't feel the same way that I have always felt. And I'm not saying I'm gonna like take down Human Petting Zoo music or anything like that. Like, I love that part of me. Like, that is one of my iterations, and I fucking love that part of me. Like, straight up. Would not be where I am right now if I had not written all of that music and played all those shows and, like, allowed myself to express my feelings in that way. And I'm unbelievably grateful for that. It's just interesting the way that, like, of course I use my whole life as a point of reference at times. Like, I'll refer to things that happened, like, 10 years ago when I was 13, and I'll talk about it. But it's like, I guess I'm trying to transition more into this, like, I can be anyone right now, no matter what I did 3 years ago, 6 years ago, 9 years ago, 12 years ago, whatever. Like, because it's true. Like, just because I was socially anxious and, like, whatever, felt like I wasn't good enough or, like, wanted attention all the time, doesn't mean that I need to be creating from that. Like, I don't need to create from that experience to be able to create now. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just weird. The internet's so weird. And, like, I'm about to delete my Facebook and I'm going to export the photos and stuff. But it's like, I don't even know if I want any of these photos. Like, there's so many great pictures and stuff, and I love seeing pictures of my friends, and, like, I like that, but it's like, and I guess it's all me, but it's like, this is fucking strange as hell. Like, I don't know. Maybe other Gen Z millennials will be able to relate to what I'm trying to say right now. But, like, time is already weird as fuck and a construct. So it's just like seeing it strewn across the internet in such a way where it's like I'm just stumbling upon shit that I made. Like, or, you know, pictures I uploaded, I'm just like stumbling upon them. It's like, the internet is unnecessary. In some ways, it was very necessary for me in the beginning of, like, playing shows and stuff. And it will be necessary for me now, like, with this website I'm building and, like, wanting to make garments and, like, show my music and my art and my writing and stuff to people. Like, I need to have a space where all of those things can be. But it's like, I don't know, like, the internet is both extremely broad and limitless while also being restrictive and limiting. It's like somehow a paradox that I just don't want to be a part of it anymore. Like, I'm not going to delete my YouTube. My YouTube can stay up. And I'm still going to have a Twitter, but I'm not telling anyone what my Twitter is. And I don't know. It's just weird. It's really disturbing to see my Tumblr from when I was a teenager, though, because I was just like really, like I said, I was sheltered in some ways, but in other ways, I was being exposed to harsh truths a lot of the time, especially with like seeing my mom go through various shitty relationships. It was like, here's an idea of like how things can be in the world. Like, here's how people can treat you. Here's like how you can get fucked over or whatever. But and in turn, I like never trusted people. And even now I have trouble trusting people, and I find it like to be really unfortunate, and it's something that I want to actively work on, because whatever I bring, like when I meet a person, whatever I bring to them is what I can expect to receive from them. So if I'm bringing some suspicious ass, like untrusting ass vibe, then they're probably not going to trust me, and it's going to be harder for me to build relationship with them. And I don't know, it's just like I'm literally just like going off in 100 directions right now, but like I'm just thinking about it all. Like the idea of trying to exist without the internet at this point seems almost impossible, even though it's not. And that disturbs me because it should disturb everyone, honestly. It really should. Like, I don't know, like, fuck the internet. And I should be able to just, like, cultivate my practices without the internet having to get involved. But in 2021, in order to be successful, you have to be, like, marketing yourself on the internet, and so is everyone else. Everyone else is getting, like, their hobby, turning it into a small business, which, like, that's fucking awesome. I'm glad that people are able to be, like, well, it is weird when people are literally just, like, vloggers and they are making a living off of that, but, like, that's weird, but it's also amazing, so I can't say that it isn't amazing. I guess I'm just, like, I'm just being disturbed right now by capitalism. Like, that's the bottom line. And on my Tumblr, I'm seeing the ways that as a teenager, I was, like, targeted by these, like, capitalist schemes. Even though I thought of myself as a punk, I was still being, like, targeted by these things. And it wasn't until I was in college that I started to be like, oh, wait a minute. Everything's fucked up and I'm literally being targeted at all times. And the algorithms weren't even that bad back then in, like, 2014. It like, wasn't even much of a thing, I feel like. Or not to the extreme that it is now, where you're being fucking targeted for, like, everything you say out loud and everything you buy is being, like, put on a list and then you're recommended something. It's definitely, like, exponentially gotten worse and scarier, but it is still disturbing to look back through time and see myself being disturbed by these larger systems. And, yeah, I guess I'm just honestly trying to come to a point of, like, peace within myself, and I don't want to, it's like, I don't want these photos, I don't want any of this shit, because I don't need any of that to know who I am right now. Like, who I am right now is now, in this moment. I am right now. Like, I am here now. I am here in this present moment. Do you know what I'm saying? And, like, that's who I am. Yeah, I am 23, I've lived this long, and, like, I have a past upon which my present has been built, and I have a future upon which my present will be building. But, like, obviously neither of those things exist without me being here right now. Like, So I don't know. That's why I just want to get rid of everything on that I have on the internet, like all these social medias, because like they are really distracting and you're always seeing something that's in the past on them. You're always like being directed to look at something that's already happened or already been said, and like I don't know. It's a pretty serious rant I just went on. I don't even know if this is cohesive at all. But I'm just saying, like, I'm disturbed.